any of you, which is a shame because I was quite looking forward to seeing you all naked. You know, for the nerves, not my own personal research. So, a few things you must know about me. I love doing the work, you know, like shadow work, like Jungian work, you know, really integrating my shadow. And I like using alternative ways to do that. So has anyone in here heard of ayahuasca? Yeah, I'll explain it because it's a part of the joke. Basically, it's a South American plant medicine where you just trip balls, basically, and you do a lot of vomiting. I fucking hate vomiting. Who here loves vomiting? Yeah, you weirdos. So basically, I did it in a lovely location in Bedford, in a lovely refurbished barn of 15 people, which is actually a lot of people to be vomiting in a room with, okay? So we all took our turns to drink. You know, they drank, and I was like, okay, drank, okay, preparing for the vomit. So then I heard vomit, then I heard vomit. Then I could continuously hear vomiting until I watched this man next to me vomit. I have never shit so much in my life. So much so that I was literally like, doing the work, and I was like, look, I've got to go shitting myself. Came back like, ancestors, trauma, oh no, I need to shit myself. And then it got to the point where I was looking in the toilet, and I was like, wow, look at those fractals. They're amazing. But it wasn't pleasant though. So I had to go back to bed and do more shitting, not in the bed, but in the toilet. So that's one thing about me that you need to know. So the next thing, I love traveling on public transport. I love observing people because people are fucking weird. And you're all included in that, and myself, of course. So one time, I was on the tube, and it was rush hour, and I was on the Victoria line, so got to Victoria, and there was a big rush for the seats. So this man kind of got on and looked at me like I was a weirdo, and I was like, oh, okay. But then he didn't have any other choice but to sit next to me because all the chairs were starting to fill up. And then next to me, I could see all this movement while I was reading my book, listening to some music, and I was trying to ignore it, but then something just said to me, have a look. So I turned round, and this man was picking his ears. Yeah, he picked his ears and ate it. Yeah. If I've got to see this, you guys have got to know about this. And then he started picking his nose, really like, you know, playing with it, eating it. Then he was like picking bits off his face. And I'm just sitting there looking at him like, what a fucking weirdo, like, you know? And then that continued, so I was kind of like disgusted by all that. And then he kind of got off the train and then looked at me through the window like, you weird little bitch. I was like, mate, you're the one picking your face, like, you know, weirdo. So another weirdo that I found was on a bus, long bus journey. I was writing some more comedy material. For tonight, actually, and I was like, oh, this is brilliant. So this woman, basically, she got on, sat on the front, and she just sat down, sanitised her hands. Pretty normal, right? Pretty normal to sanitise your hands. But then she just did it again. And I was like, what? That's a bit weird. So then she took her phone out of her pocket like it was filthy, used it, and then put it back in her pocket, and then sanitised her hands again. And this continued for like another 20 minutes. And then I was looking at her and I was like, I wonder what sex would be like with her. That would be weird, wouldn't it? Like, it would make some spicy lube. Like, what do you do? Like, you know, a bit weird. So that's another thing about me that you need to know. I like looking at weirdos. Yes, so as you can see, I do love a jumpsuit. Thank you. You didn't cheer hard enough. I made a lot of effort tonight. Yeah, I love jumpsuits and I love chunky bracelets. I like chunky things. You're disgusting, you guys. I'm talking about my bangles. Yeah? And so on my way to my comedy rehearsal, again, it always seems to be on the way to making some jokes, but yeah, so I was dying to go to pee. All right, and so basically, the problem with jumpsuits is that you have to take them all off. You have to just basically get naked, right? So I went to the place and I was like, oh shit, rang the doorbell, holding my pee. Pelvic floor exercise ladies here, or men? I don't fucking do them, obviously. So yeah, I was like waiting, and I got into the toilet finally, and I was like, okay, I've got to get naked, took it off, and then my bangles trapped me. And I was like, kind of like, oh shit. Pissed on myself, pissed on the floor, missed the toilet completely, and I was like, oh fuck. So I cleaned all that shit up, you know, and then I was like, okay, right, I'm gonna have to go and wash these and dry these. So I come out of the cubicle, And I was like, okay, wash them, praying that nobody would come in. And then I dried them, and I started to dry them, and I had the door open, and I turned around, and I realised that there were unisex toilets. And there's this man standing there at me with my saggy tits hanging out and my grey pubes. No one ever talks about grey pubes. We should. And that's it. Thank you.